difficult to blame the drivers for asking for an increment in their fares because their input costs, one of it being fuel prices, has gone up. So they are paying more for inputs. Their output, which is revenue, is also being challenged now because of the advent of social distancing. And so they are being squeezed on both ends. So it's normal and natural for them to ask for increased revenues for them so that they can at least ease off or even off or balance it. Now, the way as a state we could have handled this is in two ways. To find a solution that says that because your input cost has gone up and your output has gone down, we'll fill in a certain, with a certain mitigation measure. That says that because you are going to lose 20% of your income because of social distancing, the state will mitigate by 15% to you. And that 15% will come from your own fuel taxes. So the amount of fuel you buy in a day is the amount of subsidies we apply to you in a day. It is not amount of fuel Ghanaians buy. The amount of fuel you, the driver, buy is the amount of subsidies we apply to you in a day so that you will be able to at least bridge that gap or deficit between your input cost and your output or revenue. Then secondly, we could have also found a way to say that, look, continue paying all your taxes, but the state will advance certain monies to your fuel operators, such that the commercial transport operators who come, they will get some rebates on their fuel, right? Yeah. We departed from these and rather decided to go for the harsher measure, which is increasing transport fares. How long are you going to sustain increases in transport fares? If tomorrow morning the input cost variance should go up again, and the driver said they need additional transport increases, are we still going to continue adding on like we have done now? If tomorrow morning the variances or the input cost function declines, are we going to call the drivers and say, go and remove the 15%? Because there's no mechanism to ensure a fair system. It is the market woman, the trotro driver, the taxi driver, the teacher, those at the other end that suffers. Whilst the ministry continues to pretend that they are negotiating for us, they are not negotiating for anybody. If they are negotiating, they should negotiate what government can do for these drivers with them. And so that if government is able to even do, say, 10% with them, and you come to us and say you are doing 5%, I'm sure that it will be a bit milder on us than increasing transport fares by 15 and others are saying 30. It's not sustainable. We should not just be in a hurry, in a happy, punky mode to say that we have increased public transport fares. Allow a system that is robust to operate such that when it has to go up like fuel prices, which has been deregulated, it goes up. But there should also be a mechanism for it to come down. So we have requested that should we wake up to a COVID cure tomorrow and life gets back to, say, normal, and there's no social distancing rule in the public transport anymore, would they reverse the 15% or it will come to stay? We in this country have never seen a situation where transport fares have been reviewed downwards. And so it looks as though we are only piling hardships onto the unsuspecting market woman, onto the poor person who probably hasn't even made any, financial space to pay for more as far as, picking transportation systems here and there is concerned.